Hey y'all, hey, welcome back to my channel. We're about to get into this juicy story time because y'all, I think that this is every woman's worst nightmare. Let's go ahead and get into it. You guys know that I fast forward certain videos because I want to conserve space here over on YouTube. But if you feel like the video is moving too fast, definitely just slow it down using your YouTube settings. All right, without further ado, let's get into it.
That was rude.
All right, you guys. Don't want to get copyright, but you guys can read and see what this is going to be about. So let's go ahead and get into the story time.
Alright, so I was not expecting this video to blow up the way that it did. So I guess I can, clear some things up. This happened 4 years ago. This was my relationship 4 years ago. I am HIV negative. I do not have HIV. Even after I left that man back in June of 2022, I still regularly went to the doctor to get checked. And to this day, I am still HIV negative, STD negative. Everything's always negative. I'm a very health conscious person, meaning that I am constantly going to, like before the whole HIV scare, I was constantly going to the doctors getting checked. Constantly. I was in the military from 2011 to 2020. I did my blood work and everything was always good. It was always good. So, me and this man met in May of 2017. Started dating May of 2017. Back in June of 2018 is when everything became physical. With the box and whatever, became physical. Back March of 2021 is when he told me about his diagnosis. So, up until that point, like I said, I've always went to the doctors, got my check. I've always been negative. I even had a baby while with this man. So it's like, I've always been negative. I always tested negative. And I've never seen him go to the doctor and get checked. But because I was always testing negative, I was just always thinking, that's just me being stupid. You know, I was thinking, I should be good. Because I'm always STD free. Whatever. So, my last checkup before his checkup was in May of 2020. Everything was fine. Whatever. He finally went to the doctor and got his physical done in March of 2021. And when he went to get his physical done, like she gave him his results a couple of days later, I just so happened to take off work that day. I don't know why. Don't know. I was just off work that day. And he came in the house. He was just like, we need to talk. I was like, okay. We sat down on the sofa and he was just like, hey, so remember, what's that one thing you told me will make you leave me? And I was just like, you can give me some shit I can't get rid of. And he was like, so the doctor just told me that I was positive. I was like, positive for what? It's like, he told me I was HIV. She told me I was HIV positive. I'm like, huh. I instantly, like, it was like I was in shock. Because I'm just like, what the fuck? Because at that point, we had been together for 4 years. 4 years up until that point. And like I said, every year, I was getting tested. Every year, I didn't have nothing every time I went and got checked. And my previous check was in May of 2020. My previous physical, my yearly physical was in May of 2020. So now we're in March of 2021. It's almost time for my annual physical. So he told me he was negative. I was just taken aback. And I was just like, give me a minute. I got up from the sofa and I went in the bathroom and I started crying. I looked in the mirror and I just started crying. I was in there for a good 30 seconds crying before this mofo come in there and like, what the fuck you crying about? I'm like, you just told me you was HIV positive. He was like, I told you I was HIV positive. What the fuck you crying for? And I'm just like, well, if you got it, that means I got it. It's a possibility that I got it. But he was just like, so, but what the fuck you crying for? That means we got it together. And I was like, no, if you got it, I got it. Like, no. In my mind, I'm just trying to like, what the fuck? Like, what? So I called the doctor and I scheduled my appointment. And the crazy thing is, she didn't say, oh, well, it's not time. It's not until May. Because she knew, like I said, me and him had the same PCP. And she knew that, me and him was together. Because our kids had, me and him and the kids had the same PCP. Everybody went to the same doctor. So she knew the whole family. So when I called to schedule an appointment, I went in. And she was just like, I was like, yeah, I'm here for my annual. She was like, well, your annual's not due until May. And that's when I looked at it. I was like, you know he told me. She was like, I'm surprised he told you. I was like, yes, he told me. And then that's when she let me know how he reacted when she told him the news. That's why she was surprised he told me. So I got my result. I did my blood work, whatever. Not a couple days later, she called me with my results to let me know. Like we did a little video, telemedicine or whatever, not the video chat. And when she told me that I wasn't, like, I tested negative, and I'm just like, I don't believe you. She was just like, you can come back in 3 months and do the test again, but you're negative. I was like, the reason why I don't believe you because we had sex unprotected a couple days prior to you telling him that he was positive. So she was just like, so what we're gonna do? Like, I'm gonna start you on PrEP. And I was just like, what's PrEP? She was explaining all of that to me, whatever. And she sent it to the pharmacy. I picked up my PrEP and I picked up his Biktarvy. I took my PrEP, he took his Biktarvy. That first month of his diagnosis, we didn't do anything. Because like I said, he was making it seem as if like he didn't want me to have it. But at the same time, it was kind of like, I'm going through this by myself type thing. So I took the prep for 2 weeks, and the only reason why I only took it for 2 weeks is because it made me so sick. So like I said earlier, I will take supplements and detox before I take medication. I try to do things the natural way because my body reacts better to natural than chemically processed. So with the prep, I was dizzy, I was nauseous, I had body aches, I had chills. So I ended up having to stop that. I stopped after 2 weeks. He knew that I had stopped after 2 weeks, but he was still taking his bitch Harvey because that was his so I don't die medication. That's what he called it, so I don't die medication. So after 3 months went by, I went back to the doctor. So we're 6 months into the diagnosis, and I got my blood results back. I was still negative. I let her know, like before she did my results. I was like, I stopped taking the prep after 2 weeks because my body couldn't handle this and that. And she's like, well, we can just lower your dosage. I was like, I don't know. My body doesn't react well to medicine because it does not react well to medicine. It only reacts well to natural stuff. It's crazy. But I went back after 6 months negative. Went back after 9 months. Like another 3 months went by. So every 3 months I was going 9 months negative, a year negative. In May of 2022 was the last time I went to that doctor, and she told me that I did my blood work, told me I was negative. And in May of 22 is the last time that I ever had any relationships. But no, yeah, it was the first week of May was the last time I had any relation with that man. When she told me that I was still negative, like that was it. Like no more. Prior to that, like he was a personal trainer. We had a personal trainer business. So I would find his clients and I would schedule his training session, so I knew his schedule. And I picked up that he only wanted to have sex with me on the days that he didn't have to work, because when he wasn't with me, he was with some other female. That's what I found out throughout the process. Like in May of 2022, when I was like gathering all my information and stuff, that's what I found out. He was talking to a different female every other day. He found him on Tinder, meet him, talk to him every other day. So every other day he was having sex with a different female. It was prostitutes, it was males, it was just random females that was down for one night that he found on Tinder. A couple of those I tried to like find or like let them know, whatever, but they didn't want to hear me. And I just let that be what that is. Whatever. They didn't want to hear me. So because I knew his schedule and I knew that he only would want to have sex with me on the days that he was off, I started going to the gym on his off days. So if he rolled over and I was there, he would give me those little 3 pumps while I'm laying on my stomach because he didn't want me to move. He didn't want to look at me. He wanted me laying on my stomach. He did his little 3 pumps and that was it. On Sunday mornings. But when I got hip to that, I started going to the gym at 7 o'clock on Sunday. So when he rolled up, I wasn't there. So we stopped having sex. Like, stopped. It went from having sex once a week to once every other week to once a month to once every so often type. So it was not a regular thing at all. And I'm coming up on 10 minutes, so I guess that's the gist of it. So because I've never done a story time before, I'm probably stumbling over my words a lot because I'm not used to this. This is new, okay? And that relationship, like I said, was 4 years ago. So it's like, and it was very traumatic. So when I talk about it, I'm sure I'm like all over the place. I apologize. The only way I would know how to do my bullet point by bullet point is if I start at the beginning and go from the beginning all the way to the end. But then if I do that, that's 5 years. And a lot has happened in those 5 years of us being together, from the cheating to the women posting themselves in my room with my dog, to him beating me with a giant dog bone, causing me to go into preterm labor at 22 weeks, make my water break, to us fighting in the hospital while I'm in the hospital trying to keep the baby in from coming early, to me being isolated from my family, me isolating my family, and me moving states away from Georgia to Maryland with no family up north at all, just me and my kids and him. So it's like, it's a lot. It's easy to look at it and be like, the person that made this comment. It's real easy. But it's a lot that went into it, and it's like, I don't even know where to start. That story time that'd probably be a 60-part story time if I got that in depth. Like, if I got in depth to like everything. At the end of the day, I left him. I found out about all the women, all the men, all of the prostitutes in the process of me leaving. Like, but no, we were having sex, but we weren't having sex. Like, our sex sessions was literally on Sunday morning. It wasn't like you can call him and he can come over tonight, or we have sex throughout the day in the middle. No, it was nothing like that. It only happened first thing in the morning. If he rolled over on his off day and I was in the bed with him, that's when sex occurred. If I was not in the bed with him, he does not ask me for sex. I did not ask him for sex because, like I said, he was getting it from other women, a lot of other people. So he didn't need it from me, but he made sure that he had sex with me every time that I told him that I tested negative, and that's why I stopped telling him when I tested negative. I stopped talking about it. It turned into I'm probably testing. It turned into like, I'm testing it. Oh, I tested negative, and it's like, that Sunday I wake up and we having sex. It was literally always when I was asleep. I was never awake. He always did this when I was asleep. So it turned into me telling him that I tested negative, to me not saying anything at all about being negative. And then like when he brought it up and I say like, yeah, I'm still negative, I took it, I said, well, I'm negative because you're taking big target. That's how I'm like, yo, I'm negative because you're doing good with your medication. It was like one of those mind things. So yes and no. Like, were we having sex because I'm just like willingly like, come on baby, let's no. Hell no. It was not that. I literally woke up to sex. That's how that went. So I'm so tired of explaining this. So this is gonna be like my last time addressing like this, like a comment like this, because I think you missed the part in the story time when I said he was abusive. So just in case you missed that, I'm telling you directly, he was abusive. There's been plenty of times I tried to leave before he told me his diagnosis, and every time I tried to leave, I would somehow end up in the hospital. So after his diagnosis, it got worse, to the point that I'm staring at the barrel of a pew pew. So, no, I was not staying and actively being a participant, just like all willy-nilly, all happy. No, I was terrified for my life. I was terrified for my kids. I was trying to get myself out of a situation that I put myself in and I let myself stay in too long. That is what I was trying to do in that year of processing that I was exposed to HIV. Yes, I ended up leaving a year and 3 months after I received his diagnosis, yes. But in the process of that, we had kids. We had kids that he was threatening to take if I tried to leave. We had a business together. We had joint bank accounts. So it's like, it wasn't like he was just, this boyfriend that I have no ties to. Everything was tied to him because I was in the state. I was in his hometown. I didn't have family. My family was 10 hours away. Everybody that I knew was 10 hours away. So the comments like this, that just make it seem like, I just willingly was just there, just participate. No. Every time that we would have intercourse, I would be sleeping and he's doing it in my sleep. I'm waking up to it. And I'm like, ugh. So no, it was not willingly at all. God, I don't know how to paint a better picture for you so that it can make sense in your eyes. I don't know how to do that. I don't. But I'm not going to address a comment like this again. I'm not. Because if this was the unhealed version of me, this response would be completely different. It would. I get that you don't know me. I don't know you. You don't know the story. Only I know the story. But I can gladly tell you that I was not willingly staying with this man. I was terrified after being abused for 5 years. For 5 years. Waking up in the hospital. Having seizures from being knocked the fuck out. 5 years. So to say, you stay, you wanted it. Come on, yo. You gotta do better. You gotta do better. Because what the fuck? What the actual fuck? I'm not addressing these comments no more. If you want to believe that, believe that. If you want to believe that I wanted to contract a disease that I can't get rid of from a man that I did, oh my God. If only y'all knew everything that I went through, you would understand why this triggered me. But, all right.
All right, y'all. I definitely understand where she's coming from. That was the last video that she made addressing it. But she definitely did say in the first part of the story that he started Mayweathering you harder, meaning he started to physically hit on her more after he found out that he tested positive for HIV. So I understand her anger, but hey, this is TikTok. This is the public opinion, and then this is about to be on YouTube, and people will have their thoughts and their opinion. So if you don't have tough skin, then maybe you should not put your personal private business online, because people are going to be people. Now, I do want to say that I am so happy that she came out on top as far as not having this HIV, because y'all, I could not imagine going through that and finding out something like that. I think I would probably spiral and end up serving prison time, like this is crazy. Let me know you guys' thoughts about this story time in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to closely monitor her page or follow her page to see if she provides any more updates regarding this story. But excuse me, y'all, definitely let me know you guys' thoughts about this in the comment section below, and until next time, bye.